All right, everybody. Welcome to the regular DeKalb City Council meeting of November 10th. I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting in order. Waiting. Roll call, please.
Zazada.
Here.
Larson.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Carlson.
Here.
Powell.
Here.
Verbic.
Here.
Walker.
Here.
Mayor Barnes.
Here. All right, go ahead and move on to agenda item B, Pledge of Allegiance. Captain Hy-Vee, can you lead us in the pledge? Thank you, Mr. Gentry. All right, moving on to agenda item C, approval of the agenda,
Mayor, I make a motion to approve the agenda.
or a modification.
Modification, let's do that.
A modification to add a presentation from the chief of
Presentation,
police.
please, from the police chief.
That is awesome. I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. So a move by Alderman Smith, seconded by Alderman Verbic to modify the agenda to add a presentation from the chief of police in agenda item D. Any comments or questions on that? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Larson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Powell.
Yes.
Verbic.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Zazada.
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. All right, the agenda has been approved to be modified. Moving on to agenda item D, presentations. Chief.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council and City Manager Nicholas. Thank you for the quick opportunity. I'll be brief. For everyone who does not know, every year we do Citizens Appreciation at the DeKalb Police Department. And what that is, I have officers or civilians who reach out to me and they said that the DeKalb Police Department, they assisted the DeKalb Police Department in some fashion or form. And we want to make sure at the DeKalb Police Department that we recognize them because we think it's extremely important that we move in unison as a community. So with that being said, every year officers send me names for a lot of different reasons. We've had citizens who have stopped and rendered aid during crashes. We've had, unfortunately, citizens who have rendered aid to people who have been wounded in gunshot situations. And sometimes we have people just call in to say this person had too much to drink. I want you to look at them and see if they're intoxicated. So those are the type of calls of service that we get from our citizens. But in this situation, this is more pertaining to community engagement. Fun Jam has been a successful program that was started with the DeKalb Police Department and has since expanded. And I want to thank two of our aldermen and our mayor and our alderperson who assisted us in 2024 at Fun Jam. And then again with Alderman Powell this year, we'll represent you next year in 2025 for the help that you gave to Fun Jam this year. So I did want to take this opportunity to present you too with this award. So I'll read it as it's written. Citizens Appreciation Certificate, City of DeKalb, Office of the Chief of Police, City of DeKalb, Illinois, acknowledges Cohen Barnes and Alderperson Barb Larson as a citizen and friend of the City of DeKalb has, without consideration of life, limb, or time, taken extended action to assist the DeKalb Police Department in providing public safety and service to the DeKalb community. You ought to be commended for your willingness to act as a supporter of the DeKalb Police Department. We thank you for your service and loyalty. Job well done, Chief David Byrd, DeKalb Police Department. So thank you both.
Can we, yeah. I'd love to get a photo with you, Chief.
And I just want to say thank you, that you make it so easy that this man has provided the framework for all of us to be able to just step in and help out. Without your insight and views, we would never been able to do
thank
this.
you.
So thank you for being that for DeKalb.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, and I highly encourage everyone, you got to come out and check this out next summer. I mean, it's absolutely incredible, and I got to give a lot of kudos to Alderman Powell. He came out, provided some food, and I got to pet an albino snake, I think it was, in 2025, but thanks for recognizing us in 2024, sir.
We'll get you next year, sir, so don't worry. No worries.
Thanks, Chief. All right, now we can move on to agenda item E, public participation. We have two. The first one is former Alderman Bill Finucane.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Appreciate being here. My former colleagues on council and City Manager Bill Nicholas, thank you for the opportunity to speak. We're all very much aware right now of the problems with the SNAP and everything else in terms of people needing food. You may know I'm a volunteer down at Salvation Army. Over the last 2 months, our daily use in the pantry has gone from about 40 to 50 clients on a daily basis to where we're now doing 60, 70. We've even had a couple of days of where we've been over 80. So you may recall over the last 25 years, a gentleman to my left here, T.D. Ryan, has done a couple of events that have supported the pantry in a number of ways. And so there's two of them. The first one we're going to talk about is Let's Talk Turkey. That's on November 21. The Salvation Army hopes to feed over 700 needy families between turkeys and donations of all the fixings that go with those turkeys. We'll be down at the Salvation Army on Friday, the 21st, from 7 to 3, along with accepting turkeys or hams or any other entree meat product for a Thanksgiving dinner. We'll take cash donations also. And then the second event is Freezing for Food, and Terry's going to talk a little bit more about that in his detail. But I want to share some of the things that we hope to collect on during the Freezing for Food. Among the items being sought are, non-perishable food, personal hygiene products, paper products. Among the items being sought are canned goods such as vegetable soup, fruit, dry goods such as pasta, flour, cake mix, dry soup mix, cereal, rice, butter, peanut butter, and pancake mixes, and paper products, paper towels, toilet paper, tissue paper, and then cleaning products, pine saw, window cleaner, dish detergent, etc., and also even personal items, toothbrushes, toothpaste, deodorant, etc. So it's really very important that both of these events are successful because of the need has grown so much, not only in our community, and the Salvation Army here in DeKalb helps with all of DeKalb County. It is the largest food pantry in the county. It's open 4 mornings a week, Monday through Thursday from 9 to noon, and then again on Thursday evening between 5 and 6:30. So like I said, for the Let's Talk Turkey for Thanksgiving, we hope to be able to do 700 meals, and Freezing for Food, those products we use that'll last into the next year very well. I know that last year's event, we were able to use like some of the dry good products all the way out until March. So I will end my talk here and go from there, but I appreciate anything that anybody can do to help out. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. And then we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. T.D. Ryan.
Well, I'm a little disappointed because Bill and I, we had agreed to wrap our presentation, and I was going to do boom, but then Bill backed out at the last minute, so I have no notes there at all. But I did want to talk about the history of the events. Now, Let's Talk Turkey. For folks that don't know, people bring turkeys to the Salvation Army, and then the local church groups get the whole meal together. The late, great Chuck Seabrass. I wanted to bring up Chuck because Chuck had a tradition of bringing the largest turkey every year. And I would love to get that going again, too, because, again, we have no real history of Let's Talk Turkey. We don't know when it began. We know how long it's been going on. And we do want to thank the DeKalb Fire Department every year coming through, not only bringing us over 100 turkeys and a monetary donation, but they bring the turkeys in for us, too, so as well. So, Chief, thank you so much for that. We always can count on well, again, we don't have the radio station that I used to work for anymore to get the word out, so we're counting on people to help us spread the word. We want to thank all the people that have helped us spread the word already. But that's going to be on Friday, the 21st. It will be at the Salvation Army, 9th and Grove Street. Just bring a turkey or a monetary donation as well. I may dress up in a turkey suit, so that right there might be worth the admission. And then let's talk turkey again. Freezing for Food, very near and dear to my heart. This would be our 25th year. And we're, whatever donations we get this year is going to get us to over 2.5 million pounds of food we've been able to collect in 25 years. And just to give you a little perspective on that, the first year I was out at Brad Manning Ford, and I agreed to get 2,000 pounds of food. I was going to stay out at Brad Manning Ford until I got 2,000 pounds of food. Well, it took 4 days to get the 2,000 pounds of food. My wife brought 5 10-pound bags of flour to put me over the top. And after that, I didn't agree to any set total. But just last year, we did 147,000 pounds of food. We had 2,000 in less than an hour. So that's how far we've come. But we're counting on you to help us spread the word. I know I've seen a lot of aldermen here. A lot of them haven't been for Freezing for Food. So we're over at the Hy-Vee Shopping Center. Bill and I living together. Dare I say it, Bill? Our secret's out. Bill and I will be living together for 3 days in the parking lot of Hy-Vee. So come and wish us well. But please bring some non-perishable food items and monetary donations. Want to thank Barry's Backyard Sheds. They're going to provide us a shed. Our friends at Blackhawk Moving and Storage will give us a Go Mini unit to hopefully fill full of food. So help us, please. Again, the need is great. And again, I always like to tell the little tearjerker that I have to always tell, but it's true. Little girl came up to me with a bag full of change and said that she had heard that there were little children that weren't getting any cereal. They didn't have any cereal, and she insisted that we use that money, her birthday money, to buy cereal for the kids. So that's the kind of things that happens when we're out there at Hy-Vee experiencing a fundraiser like this. So if you can come by the Hy-Vee Shopping Center, again, anytime, 4th, 5th, and 6th of December, we'd love for you to come by. Shadow will be there, so just another reason to come by. But thanks for all your support. Thanks for all the older people that have been on my podcast, TD Ryan Unleashed, and the whole tier over there has been on here as well. There's a couple aldermen holding out. We're going to get we appreciate that. But thanks for all your support, and thanks for helping us. But please help the 25th Freezing Food make it the biggest and best one ever. Thank you so much.
Round of applause for these guys. TD and Bill, appreciate everything you do, and you two are busy men. You do not have to stay here. It's no offense if you want to take off at this point, but just keep up doing the great work that both of you are doing. All right. Yeah, have a great night. All right, moving on to agenda item E, appointments. We have none. Agenda item G, a consent agenda. Number 1, minutes of the Joint Review Board meeting of July 25th, 2025, TIF 3. Minutes of the Joint Review Board meeting of July 25th, 2025, TIF 4. Minutes of the regular City Council meeting of October 27th, 2025. Accounts payable and payroll through November 10th, 2025 in the amount of $1,461,322.44. Investment and bank balance summary through September 2025. Year-to-date revenues and expenditures through September 2025. And Crime-Free Housing Bureau report, October 2025. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as is?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Smith, seconded by Alderman Powell. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Zazada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. The consent agenda has been approved. Moving on to agenda item H, public hearings. Number 1, I'm going to go ahead and open this public hearing at 6:13. And this is a public hearing, truth in taxation hearing regarding the 2025 property tax levy. Yes, is there anyone here that would like to speak to this agenda item from the audience? All right, this is a council agenda item a little bit later, council, so I'd assume we would talk about it then. City manager, is there anything you want to throw in now, or you want to wait till later?
No, wait.
All right, then with that, I'll go ahead and close this public hearing at 6:14 p.m. All right, then we have another public hearing. I'm going to go ahead and call that public hearing, which is the reallocation of the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, program year 2024 funds from public facilities to public facilities development to order at 6:14. Is there anyone in attendance that would like to speak to this item? Seeing none. Council, again, it's going to show up later on in our agenda. City manager, you want to hold your comments till then?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and close this public hearing at 6:14 p.m. as well, which takes us to agenda item I, considerations. We have none. And then agenda item J, resolutions. Number 1, resolution 2025-099, authorizing a transit services provider agreement with Transdev Services Incorporated to provide public transportation services, including fixed route, ADA paratransit, and dial-a-ride services from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2028. Can I have a motion to bring this to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderwoman Larson, seconded by Alderwoman Zazada. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. And Mike Newenkirchen, our transit manager, is here in the audience tonight to answer any questions that I cannot address in my general background. As you know from the background, the current contract for the transit services provision is expiring, and we needed to establish a contract to help run our service. And what's before you tonight, as the resolution title indicates, is a multi-year contract that does deal with fixed route paratransit and dial-a-ride services from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2028. A lot of background, and including a chart on page 4, which was also available to the public, obviously, that shows where we've been this year and last year, and where under the new proposed option we would be in terms of pricing. What was out for bid, which the bid process took place in the late summer, was also a agreement to provide some new low-floor buses. We also wanted to make sure that those that are getting near the end of their natural life would have the ability that the city would have the ability to control their use thereafter, and that is part of this contract as well. The transit staff have gone through the bid that was offered by Transdev, which was the only vendor who submitted a proposal. We've been happy with Transdev. They provide a good service. They are represented in the audience tonight and may, if they choose, answer questions as well. So we are recommending this extended contract. It's a base 3-year contract with 2 options for 1-year renewals. I think it's a fair price. We think, especially now that we have gotten finally to the point where we're on the cusp of being able to start building next spring, hopefully, if all the federal money stays lined up for the transit center. And we feel that Transdev would also be good to work with as that process unfolds.
Council, any comments or questions on this agenda item? Yeah, and I love how we continue to adjust and own more and more of our own fleet. I think that's great for future options. May or may not need that, but it's just really cool that we control that element of this contract. With that, I guess I'll take roll call, please.
Carlson,
Yes.
Howell,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Zazada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. Resolution 2025-099 passes. And anyone in the audience at any point, if we've covered your agenda item, you are more than welcome to leave. We don't expect anyone to stay here through our entire agenda, so don't feel like you're giving any offense by doing that at all. All right, moving on to agenda item 2. I know this one Alderwoman Zazada is going to be happy about because there's a hybrid bus involved. Resolution 2025-100, authorizing an amendment to the purchase agreement with Gillig LLC to purchase 1 eGen Flex Hybrid and 5 diesel buses, increasing the not-to-exceed amount from $4,005,384 to $4,064,155 from Rebuild Illinois Capital Grant Funds. Can I have a motion to bring this to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Smith, seconded by Alderwoman Larson, I think it was. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. As the background indicates, this is about buses, and we're talking about new buses for our fleet. There are 5 diesel buses and 1 flex hybrid included in this. We are to receive money that began a long time ago as the proceeds from the Rebuild Illinois Capital Grant Program, which still has funds left. Interest is continuing to keep that grant program alive, which is good for places such as ours. In this case, the capital dollars would come through IDOT. It's been a competitive process insofar as what was going to be available. I have to say that our transit manager and staff have shown very well in the eyes of IDOT, and so we were authorized up to $4.2 million. That would cover all the purchases, and that would be reimbursed by IDOT. The issue here tonight and why this is here is back in January of the year, we gave a not-to-exceed number. The number after these months has exceeded that by $58,771. It doesn't, the price adjustments do include one modification that we have done on some of our buses so far, and we have a few more to do, and we thought these new ones would look particularly good with the bus wraps that we've been putting on our buses since last summer. And so that does figure in, but it's not the only reason. There are other reasons that the prices have increased. Vehicles such as this with many moving parts obviously will accrue in value while they're being made or while they're sitting on a lot somewhere. So that's what we're dealing with. This resolution will cover the costs that I've just referenced.
Council, any comments or questions? Since we're wrapping these bad boys, could we see if Worley Manufacturing might want to do some aftermarket modifications to them to make them look even cooler? All right. Moving on, roll call, please.
Powell.
Yes.
Verbic.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Zazada.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. Resolution 2025-100 passes. Moving on to agenda item J3, Resolution 2025-101, authorizing 5-year farm lease agreements for 318 acres of land at the DeKalb Taylor Municipal Airport for a period not to exceed 36 months. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Carlson, seconded by Alderman Verbeck. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. There are just under 320 acres of land around the DeKalb Taylor Municipal Airport that are farmed. There are a number of larger parcels, and there are some very small fragments, odd-shaped parcels. You can barely get a combine in until you have to turn it off. It's just kind of turn around and go. But the way that we have run this system for many, many years is the 5 larger farm lease agreements, which are bid on. And here we're looking for the higher bid, not the lower bid, because we're the recipient of the rent. Those will set the price for the smaller fragmentary pieces. So we went out, we haven't done this for a number of years. We went out, thanks to Andy Wright, and surveyed the market for this kind of farm lease, and we did get a couple of vendors or farm owners that bid on this. One was Halverson Farms, another was Northern Tier Farm Partnership. Halverson Farms provided the highest bid, and the family or the corporate companies that are dealing with the smaller fragmentary leases have, to this point, as far as I know, consensually agreed to their price and how that works out per acre. The Airport Advisory Board took this up at their meeting last week, and they recommended the award of the 3-year contract to Halverson Farms. We support their recommendation and hope you will too.
Council, any comments or questions? Well, excited to see this contract go to a multi-generational DeKalb farming family. Roll call, please.
Verbic.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Zazada.
Yes.
Larson.
Abstain.
Smith.
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Powell.
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. Resolution 2025-102 passes. Moving on to agenda item K, ordinances, second reading, we have none. Agenda item L, ordinances, first reading. Number 1, ordinance 2025-045, authorizing the 2025 levy and 2026. What?
I think you missed something.
What I miss?
We missed number 4.
Oh, did I? I'm sorry. Thank you, El. Moving on to agenda item J4, Resolution 2025-102, approving an amendment to the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, 2024 Annual Action Plan to reallocate $50,000 from public facilities to public facilities development. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Verbeck, seconded by Alderman Smith. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Jennifer Yoakum, our Community Services Coordinator, is in the audience, and she is the one who is a point person between us and HUD, obviously. And she also minds amendments and how they have to be presented to HUD for approval from time to time. We have an opportunity to help with the creation of a new transitional youth shelter in the city of DeKalb. The Family Service Agency has received some grant money. There is about $50,000 in unspent 2024 HUD funds, CDBG funds, that could also be repurposed for such an amendment and would help with the acquisition and the outfitting of a it was once a long time ago a 3-story house. It's got to be broken up appropriately into units that would be for individual youth. That work is about to start if certain things fall into place, including the general funding, such as this piece. What's before you tonight is to vote to amend the annual action plan for 2024. So we're looking back. You're allowed to do this under HUD rules. The issue is, and I mentioned this, that and I think this is still true, correct me if I'm wrong, where we've made the request already, offered information and background for HUD. They may proceed if the council supports this, and we hope you will, but it's uncertain when that money might become available. It's already been allocated. Obviously, we're just moving from one pot to another, so it can be used this year. The question is, when could it be released? And that might delay our contribution to this particular project. But that's not something the council controls. That's something that's being controlled at the federal level right now. But we think it's still a worthwhile project to support, and we recommend yours.
Comments or questions, Council? Alderwoman Zada.
I'm just thrilled to be able to support FSA in doing this project, and it's been long needed.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Walker,
Yes.
Zazada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. Resolution 2025-102 passes. Moving on to the deja vu section of our agenda. Agenda item K, ordinances, second reading, we have none. Agenda item L, ordinances, first reading. Number 1, ordinance 2025-045, authorizing the 2025 levy and 2026 collection of taxes in and for the corporate and municipal purposes and special service areas of the city of DeKalb for fiscal year 2026. Can I have a motion to bring this to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Carlson, seconded by Alderman Powell. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. This ordinance and the next one are coupled because there are two halves of the levy process that is probably as important as the budget from the standpoint of local residents and businesses. The levy falls in a calculation that creates the rate that the city has that either alone or combined with the library's rate, which is called the aggregate rate, then is applied toward the house value or the business value, and that creates the taxes that are to be paid. And so it's important where we land and where every taxing body lands in terms of the actual levy. What's been presented to you here is the same as what was presented to you in a very general way back in August, and then to the Finance Advisory Committee in October, and with a recommendation from them to you, and it's put into this ordinance fashion. The numbers haven't changed. As you know, all of our property tax goes into payments for obligations we have to the state fire and police pension funds. In this case, there's also a pass-through that, according to the statute in Illinois, attends a public library obligation, and all three of these we put through in terms of debt to be abated by you, and the next ordinance talks about the abatement. So this is establishing what the baseline is for our levy. There is a calculation we can make based on our best guess estimate of the EAV for the whole community. We feel that our levy will result, if anything, in just a very negligible decrease in our city rate of 0.62286 per 100 EAV. The charts are pretty explanatory. There is one other thing to mention. Our levies for the special service areas, we have 6 of those are also included in this ordinance. If you go over on page 8, you can see there's only one change from the last couple of years. Hunter Ridge Book had a levy for a number of years of $50,000. There have been improvements there, and that's been reduced to $25,000. This can only be used outside. It can't be used for inside improvements. So we're talking about paving and dumpster corrals and fencing and that type of thing. And the $50,000 has not been spent on a regular basis for the last 2 years. We recommend the reduction of that to the $25,000. So we come to a total for the special service areas of $95,500. The others are well known to you, except for Market Square, which is the paving levy that we set up about 5 years ago. And this coming year, that money will be used, that's accrued there, a little over $200,000 to repave those driving aisles again. We don't repave parking lots there. We don't repave ring roads around the backs of buildings and so forth. These are the driving aisles that we're not paying for it, but we are organizing the resurfacing. Just make sure it gets done.
Because it wasn't getting done.
It wasn't getting done.
Yeah.
So, and also we're going as far as we can this year into the access points at the theater complex in the back, which had been, it's just not been well kept over a lot of years by private parties. And we have the ability, we have their money, this is their tax money to do it.
Comments or questions, council? Yes, Alderman Verbeek.
Back to that SSA discussion, should we look to increase those annually, aligned with CPI, for example, because the cost of doing this work is only going up, and the cost of materials is only going up. So
Yeah,
how do we get the work done at the same amount year after
He's not here tonight, but Andy Rye and I talk about this where is he hiding?
Hi, Andy.
There he is. So Andy and I came up with these numbers together, and his crew superintends, make sure these whether they're cul-de-sacs or entryways or whatever, are being taken care of. And he was confident that actually we have a little bit, if you look at the budget, and you've not got the fresh budget pages, but as you've seen over recent years, there's always a little bit of residual that we're covered to do what we need to do.
Thank you.
Alderman Smith.
Bill, I know I've been after the Market Square one. Did we determine if this could be used for lighting to fix the
No.
light? It cannot, so.
No.
Okay, thank you.
Any others? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Zazada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. Ordinance 2025-045 passes on first reading. Moving on to L2, Ordinance 2025-046, abating taxes levied for corporate purposes of the City of DeKalb for tax year 2025. Can I have a motion to bring this ordinance to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Verbeek, seconded by Alderman Powell. City Manager.
Thank you, and I alluded to this ordinance just a few moments ago. On pages 8 and 9 in your background, you see some pretty detailed explanation of how we came into these general obligation debts. And some of them date back to when we were constructing a new police station back in 2012. There was also some work back not too much after that where we were doing some public works facility upgrades and so forth. And we got into some refunding in 2019, and then we did a novel GO bond back in 2020 at the height of the COVID pandemic. Scoop and toss, we called it at the time, and it worked. It saved us basically $1.8 million in expenses that year, which were sorely under pressure. And it tacked it on at the end. Didn't increase, say, the subsequent year, but just added on another year in that process. And then refunding bonds of 22, which were library bonds that came eligible for refunding. And then in 23, the Station 4 bonds. I'm happy to say that with this commitment and each year as we bring up the debt obligation that's remaining, we are pretty rapidly getting through our general obligation debt. And by 2028, we're going to lose one of the bigger bond obligations, about $900,000. And then we've got a couple of others that will come off. The last one is the one we just did in 23, is a 15 years, so that's 2039. But the last 12 years or so of that, unless this sort of future councils decide to obligate the general fund for more general obligation debt, we're going to be down to about $400,000 a year rather than $2.33 million a year. That's good news. That not only gives some breathing room for the general fund, but from the standpoint of Moody's and anyone who's looking to invest in our community, it looks like we're on top of what we're doing, putting just enough aside and being prudent in our spending so that we have the ability, if we needed to, in an emergency, in a bad time, to borrow again to float our services. So I feel that we're not taking on any debt here. It's just we have to abate this. Well, actually, we don't have to. Some people have said, why don't we pay down our public obligation on the pension side? So let me just, in my closing remarks, just tell you where we are this year. And in recent years, it's been growing, but it's been for the same general thing. So as you know, back in October, mid-October, we talked about the capital funds not having sufficient recurring dollars every year to tackle roads and vehicle replacements the way we'd like. And so the general fund this year and then in the proposed budget that you'll see just next week is picking up the slack. We've got about, and also on the street maintenance side. So on the street maintenance side alone, we're going to come up with $1.4 million out of the general fund reserve. So there's that number. And then we've got, you may recall, we are looking to bring $100,000 in for some police investigative equipment and other things that are needed in the police department, minor capital things. And then fire facility repairs, another $100,000. IT equipment, $140,000. And that's just keeping up with storage and other things. And then vehicle replacement, a couple $100,000. There's another $540. So now we're just up to $2 million out of the general fund reserve. Okay. Add to that the shortfall that we've shown you charts on for years that show what our obligation is. You know, this multicolored chart, you're getting sick of it probably. I do it every year. And it shows what our actual actuarial obligation is and then what we can do with our levy and still keep the rate at some reasonable level. If we did what a lot of taxing bodies do, cities too, not ours, but cities near and far, we would charge the taxpayer for our debt. We'd say, oh, this is all for things that are needed for our services, and you are obligated to pay. If we did that, we'd add another $2.33 million. So right now, in our budget that we'll propose next week, we're at $3.8 million in change from the general fund reserve, over and beyond what our natural recurring revenue is every year without a tax increase. Add on to that 2.33 million, we're at 6.1 million, almost $6.2 million when you add the debt service that we're abating. So we're absorbing that, right? So when was the last time we had $6.2 million in surplus at the end of a fiscal year? General operations. So we're living on our reserve right now. So that's why I've been stubborn about saying, I don't think we right now have the slack. Now, I already gave you a look at what might happen if all things go well, which is we're going to have some savings from the general obligation debt pile coming up in about 2 fiscal years. And then it goes down pretty steadily, not precipitously, but pretty steadily. That gives us a little breathing room. But in the end, as Mike said, prices go up, costs go up. And so over time, we're not going to escape this discussion about what we do with our general fund reserve. And I think it's a healthy and constructive conversation that we have every year. We just have to keep an eye on these numbers and these facts, because these are all public and pretty well known by people who are looking at us and from a financial standpoint. That's all I have to say, Mayor. I just recommend that we approve this ordinance.
Well, and also, got to give City Manager Nicholas a lot of credit from an economic development standpoint, and this council. You know, if we keep bringing in the businesses that we've been bringing in and driving more property tax revenue coming in, that's how we solve this police and fire pension crisis. Hopefully the state's going to do something. They're going to have to, because there's so many communities that are in the situation that we're in, because we are so business friendly in the city of DeKalb. But if we keep doing that and we keep approving these projects like City Council has for the last 5 years, it will be incredible, that additional revenue that's going to come in to offset the police and fire pension crisis, which is going to allow us to protect those reserves that we have, because we don't know when the next Great Recession or next COVID or whatever is going to come around. So I think we keep staying the course and working hard to diversify our tax base, bring in that new revenue, and protect our fund balance. So I'm all about the status quo, absolutely. Alderman Verbeek.
Thank you. Yeah, this tax increase is a little tough to take after what we've been able to do the last couple of years. And I'm hoping, you know, more of my comment will be more budget related, but I would really like us along the way to determine, as we are making decisions on things, are we deficit spending? So throughout the year, rather than get to the end of the year and see, oh gosh, we have to levy this much to do what we're expected to do, et cetera, I would rather have us know that in advance and try to offer relief and provide more affordability along the way. Because if you start to total all of the taxing body dollars, total dollars, rate set aside, the most important figure is the total dollars. The rate is also important, but not as much as the total. You could have your renter have a $1,000 monthly rent move to $1,100 monthly rent from this move alone by us and all the other taxing bodies. So we really have to keep affordability in mind as we work forward.
I agree with Alderman Verbeek wholeheartedly. I've been hearing this discussion about the rate doesn't matter, or I shouldn't say
It
doesn't.
does.
No, yeah. You're absolutely right. We got to focus on the dollars, but to comment on that, not what you're saying, but this discussion on rate versus dollars, we can't control the price of milk. We can't control the price of eggs. Yet our sales tax rate has remained at 8.5%. So if you were spending $1 on a gallon of milk, just simple math here, I know it's not that, and you're paying the 8.5%, so you're going to pay 8.5 cents to the city of DeKalb. If milk goes up to $2, right, you're going to pay us 17 cents. Am I doing that math right? 17 cents. We're not looking at reducing our sales tax rate every time the cost of goods go up, because all of our costs go up. That's why for me, it's so important. I always focus and communicate the rate. We want to make sure that the percentage that we collect, whether it's off of your house or off a gallon of milk, everything we can do to hold that. We've been, as Alderman Verbeek commented, we've been reducing that tax rate, and we've been reducing the dollars people have paid.
Total dollars, right.
Yes, yes. Even though your gallon of milk, your home, continued to increase in price. So this council, again, I got to commend you on how well we have done making sure that when we can, we hold the taxpayer harmless. But there are times when the value of your home or the price of a gallon of milk is just going to continue to rise. But it's up to us to really make sure that we don't increase the percentage of what we're collecting. We try and maintain it, and that's what we're ultimately doing here tonight and in a future agenda item. So I agree with you 100%. I just wanted to qualify why I think rate is important.
Yeah, and great rate progress since 2018.
Oh, yeah, it's
So if
amazing,
you look
yeah.
back, yeah, it's made a huge difference.
Yeah, when you think, I think home values went up 47% or something, but ultimately the amount of dollars you're paying the city of DeKalb. And I got to give the other taxing bodies a lot of credit too. A lot of them leaned in as well to make sure that the taxpayer wasn't impacted by this. And I would encourage all of us to keep that going with taxing bodies. If we continue to get this economic development like we've been having, who's to say our 7.9% aggregate tax rate couldn't go to 7, 6.5, 6? That would be a great, great position to be in. And that's what I know the city manager tries really hard every day to find that next opportunity for us. Any other comments or questions on this one? Hi. Roll call, please.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Zazada,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. Ordinance 2025-046 passes. Moving on to L3, this is ordinance 2025-034. But I would take a motion to table this to the next meeting. City manager has a quick explanation for us. Go ahead, city manager.
Actually table it to the December 8th meeting,
What did I say?
the next meeting.
Oh, yeah.
We've got.
Oh, you're right. Yes, to the
Yeah.
December 8th meeting.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
And here's why. Mr. Saucer's in the audience. As he indicated when he was here back in late September, when an extension was given to the end of October, and here we are, the first meeting after the end of October, there's been a change in the engineering consulting firm that he is using. It was just being made at that time. I talked to Dave Weber, who's a principal with Willett Hoffman, who has the contract now, and he asked, rather than the 24th of November, that this could be taken up on December 8th. So they had to come in cold. They had to, I don't know if they went out again and had to do some surveying of their own. I don't know what documents they got from the previous firm, but they've had to do a final plan, which has a lot more detail in it than the preliminary plan did. So they're trying to get up to speed, and at this time of the year, they're finishing up a lot of plans for a lot of people at the end of the construction season and totaling out jobs. So he's been a long time in serving this area in various consulting firms, and I think Mr. Weber is being very straightforward when he says that he could use the time to produce what you want to see.
So council, I would take a motion to table this to the December 8th meeting.
So moved.
Mayor, do you have to read that in entirety?
Yeah, the motion was
The item.
already stated.
Okay.
I think it's fine.
Thank
Do
you.
you? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for the clarification. I had a motion by Alderwoman Zazada. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Alderwoman Larson. Any comments or questions? All right. Roll call, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Zazada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. So ordinance 2025-034 has been tabled to the December 8th meeting. Moving on to agenda item L4, ordinance 2025-047, approving the preliminary final development plan and final plat for the solar farm at southwest corner of Illinois Route 38 and John Huber Parkway, PSA Huber IL Solar LLC. Can I have a motion to bring this to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderwoman Zazada, seconded by Alderman Carlson. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. As I say in the background, it was a little over a year ago, well, not quite a year ago. Wednesday, it's a little over a year ago, that the council passed an ordinance which approved an annexation agreement that also included an annexation and rezoning and concept plan approval for a solar farm, a 5-megawatt ground-mounted solar energy system, I should say, at the southwest corner of Illinois Route 38 and John Huber Parkway. David Shannon's here tonight from Pure Sky Energy. He's the project manager, and if you have any questions about this, he's agreeable to answering those questions. What's before you tonight is a requirement that was in the annexation agreement, and that is that when there is a final plan that shows the final details of how this is laid out, that'll be brought before you, the council. We've done that many times in the past, so that's what's in your background tonight, and we recommend your approval.
Council, questions, comments on this ordinance? Okay, hearing none. Roll call, please.
Carlson,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker, Yes. Zazada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. Ordinance 2025-047 passes on first reading. I would make a motion, or take a motion to waive second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Carlson, seconded by Alderwoman Zazada. Comments or questions on that, council? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Powell,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Zazada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. Second reading has been waived for ordinance 2025-047. Awesome, investing in alternate energy, adding to the grid that we have here in the city of DeKalb for more future projects. I love it. Okay, moving on to agenda item M, reports and communications, council member reports. Alderman Verbic, you want to kick us off?
No report.
Alderman Carlson.
Well, I was sick at the last meeting, I'm sorry, and I was sick for the last 2 weeks, so I didn't get out much. However, Halloween I thought was great in the Fourth Ward. I ran out of candy, first time ever in my time living there. The other, and I wanted to save this for now because it's under the Fourth Ward, is at the last meeting, I got a lot of calls because I had a mask on, I was sick, I was kind of out of it, and that I might have subtly called out the school district or school board for the tax levies and their increase. Well, it wasn't subtle. I was 100% doing that. So I hope you all know in the future, I'm going to have 3 more years that I'm going to be voting on your property taxes. If that doesn't come down from 60%, there's not a lot I can do, everyone. You're going to vote this way. So I implore, and I might as well say it at the end.
Oh, you're saying because they take over 60% of the?
Yes.
Yes, right.
And at the rate.
Yep.
It's just too high. If we're going to do this, we have to lower that first. You're always going to go after your biggest budgetary expense. Then everything goes down. So I just want to make sure I said the right words, and I say them yet again, and I know what'll come with it. Thank you.
Alderwoman Larson.
No report.
Alderwoman Zazada.
No report.
Alderman Smith.
Leaves. It's that time of the year for Andy's crew to be doing leaves. I raked them all to the curb, and they all came down. So where I'm going with that, please clean the gutters and stuff out. They're really starting to fill up pretty quick, so that would help them, especially after this last cold. That's it.
Alderman Powell.
No report.
Alderman Walker.
No report.
All right, real quick for me, downtown trick-or-treating. Holy cow. I don't know who went down and saw that, but it was just a mob. It was really cool. I think my company, we went through 1,800 or 2,000 pieces of candy. I know. There are kids everywhere. So it's really cool to see. If you don't have kids and you're not trick-or-treating next year, I just recommend go down and check it out. Just warms the heart to see all those kids excited and happy. And I got to thank all the downtown businesses that helped contribute to make that so successful, and the DeKalb Chamber of Commerce, who helps put that event on for us. Also was at a tree planting at Fire Station number 1 of ash trees. I know more about ash trees than I ever thought I would. No, not ash trees. Pawpaw. Thank you. Woo. I know more about pawpaw trees than I ever imagined. I actually knew a lot about ash. I had one on my property. But that was just a really great event, and I appreciate the DeKalb Fire Department participating in that and providing a spot on their property for one of these. Also did meet with David Castro, the DeKalb Park District. He's president of the DeKalb Park District right now, in just a constant effort of building relationships, sharing information, and collaboration. And it was truly a great conversation. It was good to get to know him. Then also Meta had me out last week, 2 weeks ago, just to talk to the mayor and Economic Development Corporation and another company that they're looking at potentially having a data center in, and just wanted them to come out here and hear firsthand from the team here, see the facility, but also from a local official how wonderful, and I will say how wonderful Meta was to work with during the process, and now working with them post completion of the facility. So that was really great to do. And with that, I think that's it. How about you, city manager? You got something to report?
No report.
I almost forgot, by the way, I want to give a shout out to all active duty Marines and all Marines who used to serve. It is the birthday of the United States Marine Corps. They are 250 years old, which is super cool. So happy birthday to all the Marines out there. I'll give you a Semper Fi and an oorah. All right, city manager, nothing you said?
No report.
All right, moving on to agenda item N, executive session, we have none, which leads us to O, adjournment. I would take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Smith, seconded by Alderman Carlson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nay, same sign. We are adjourned.
Yay.